Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here with another episode in G'av Tia's adventures through Eorzea. We are in the Shadowbringers, post-Shadowbringers expansion quests. The quest linking us from Shadowbringers into Dawn Trail. All right? No, I'm sorry. Linking us from Shadowbringers into Endwalker. All right, let's get that right. And we are starting with Echoes of a Fallen Star, but I first want to turn in this quest, Carnivals and Confrontations. So we have to speak with Anog in the excavation tunnels. I think that's going to start our second, that'll start our second alliance raid, I believe. Yeah. All right, do I have anything else? Oh, I did want to do Sleep Now in Sapphire and speak with Gaius there. Since we're in the general vicinity, let's talk to Gaius first. And then we'll do Carnivals and Confrontations, and then we'll get into the MSQ. All right, let's zip on over there. Oh, I can fly now. Yay. Ready to head out? Yep. Let me make sure we're going okay on the stream, too. Alright. Oh, what does Severa and Sid have to say? Gaius will know how best to proceed. I still need to get to the bottom of how the synthetic Orosite system works, and whether the pilot's fusion with the core was a malfunction or planned from the start. Planned from the start, I think. Aldelan, I have just returned from my reconnaissance, and I shall reveal my findings before taking a long overdue rest. Vaudelin has come bearing vital information. I traced the ruby weapon's path back to the occupied territory of Wurlit, which appears to be where it was built. And we could say what exactly is, or where exactly is Wurlit, or my grasp of geography is surprisingly poor. Care to enlighten me? Let's see what that one says. Well, I don't know. Severa says, while Alamigo is placed on the western edge of Gimlet, Wurlit lies on the opposite side to the east, and it was once a proud and prosperous city until it was brought to its knees by the Imperial invaders. Vaudelin says, you seem rather well informed. Perhaps I should have taken you with me. I thought that much was common knowledge. Gaius says, it is also where Alphonse and the others were born. And now the weapon project has brought them home. Vaudelin says, yes, the place is now rife with Imperials. They have established an airship supply depot in the coastal town of Turncliffe. According to the locals, something resembling one of the weapons was transported there a few days ago. Gaius says, this bodes ill indeed. Were it possible, I would attempt to capture Alphonse and his followers before they can launch an offensive. However, the distance between here and Turncliffe presents a considerable obstacle, and in all likelihood their weapon will be ready long before we arrive. Approaching by sea would allow us to save time by circumventing their ground-based troops, provided we were able to secure a vessel. Sid says, or you could use the Enterprise and take the most direct route of all as the crow flies. In fact, this is the perfect chance to put my top secret plan into action. Gaius says, and might I ask what that entails? Sid gives you this cheesy grin here. It wouldn't be much of a secret if I told you, now would it? Sid says, what I can say is there's a starring role planned for you, G'av. G'av's going, oh no. Sid says, why so surprised? You didn't think I'd let you get off that easy, did you? It'll be here soon, so don't go anywhere. G'av just shrugs. It's like, all right. If Sid still delights in keeping others in suspense, I can only hope he does not make us wait over long. This will commence a battle for Sleep Now and Sapphire, which is a challenging solo duty for me. So I will film that one separately after I've reviewed some of the guides on that to make sure I've got everything intact. Because I want to make a video out of that. Because that one is a challenge. That one is a real challenge. I've died a few times to that one. Severa says, I must admit I'm not fond of surprises or secrets for that matter. No good soldier ever likes surprises or secrets. Unless we're, you know, planning on using those things against the enemy. Many Imperials who fought at Gimlet withdrew to Wurlet, though they will have had ample time to recuperate by now. Were we to approach by land, we could expect considerable resistance. Sorry, guys. Alright. Let's go tackle that another time. No, I don't want to go there. Let's speak with Anog in the excavation tunnels. Let's go to Norvrant. You know what? It's going to be faster to go from Stilltide. Since we can fly now. Alright, let's go to the excavation tunnels. I'm gonna eat my food. I don't know what they'll be up to. Alright, Pod. Pod says nothing. Anog says, maybe it's supposed to do that. Anog says, ah, there you are. Can you believe this? Gav's going, no, I can't. I waited through days of processing, broke multiple tools, and after all of that... stupid son of a hob-swimming... Anog just shrugs. Anog, not everyone is privy to your inner thoughts. Allow me to explain. The pod confirmed that this device grants the user access to some sort of weaponry, which presumably means that it is indeed the key of which 2P spoke. Unfortunately, no sooner had we gotten it working than it stopped again. Based on our previous experiences, we assume that it's run out of power and will require a supplementary energy source. Anog says, so let's hurry up and find one. The sooner we get the key working, the sooner we can pulverize our enemies. Just, she's very enthusiastic at this. Anog says, now, wait just a moment. We aren't even certain what sort of weaponry is involved here. Even if we got the key working again, we shouldn't activate it willy-nilly. Honestly, Kanog, the ceaseless whining of yours is why we never make any progress. It's not whining, it's being ethical and prudent. You could say, must you two eyes big or so, or shall the victor be the first to draw blood, or the last man standing? We're going to do that one. And then I'm going to kind of just look at him. Why not both? Of course. Why not both? Oh my god. These guys kill me, man. Arguing with Anog is like being run over by a trolley. Yeah. One way to do it. Anog would like to continue what may be charitably termed the discussion at hand. What were we talking about? Ah, yes, why I'm right. I agree that we still know too little about the machine life forms and androids, but that's precisely why we need to seize this opportunity. If we claim the weaponry for ourselves, we'll know exactly what the enemy's capabilities are. Then, and only then, can we protect the village from comparable technology. Kanog says, fine, I see your point. We'll be safer in the long run if we activate the weaponry sooner rather than later. Or everyone else will. I'll probably have dropped dead from trying to keep up with you. Anog says, ha. You say that, but you're far too stubborn to die. That's why I can always count on you. You too, most loyal and lethal assistant. I like that, lethal assistant. Come along, we have a power source to find. Speak with Anog in Kamra. So exit to Kalusia. And hello friends who've joined us. Kanog says, I'm never sure if Anog has the better argument or if she's just better at arguing. I guess it doesn't matter. She usually gets what she wants in the end. Like all good women. It's about time. I've been considering what we need in order to power the key. A hefty chunk of crystal from a knocker ought to do it, though I haven't quite worked out how we'll divert its energy for our purposes. Kanog and I will think on it while you head over to the Hollows and liberate that crystal. Find us when you're back in Kamra. Alright, we have to go be lethal, I guess. I wonder if we can fly over here or if we have to go over the top. There you go. And another thing, why does Anog's way always have to be so fun? Hey, how are you? Ah, you got one, right? Chunk of knocker, a decent-sized hunk of crystal, a light with ethereal energies. Perfect, now we can run some tests. Anog says, yes, it'll take a bit of experimentation to get the key powered up. It is science, you know. Don't you worry, though. We'll have this thing in working order before you know it. While you wait, why not take some time for yourself? Have a nap, try some of our local delicacies, tell the chief to go bugger himself. Dig Site Chief says, Anog, Konog! Kev's going, oh no. Ah, and here's G'av. I knew you had roped him into your schemes again. Anog says, they're good schemes. And anyway, you're the one who keeps sending him in to check on us. Dig Site Chief says, I wouldn't have to if you do the work you were assigned. The carnival won't wait on your pet projects. G'av's wondering, what can you do? Anog says, fine. Come on, Konog. Let's get this over with. Dig Site Chief says, frustrating as they are, you have to admire their enthusiasm for tinkering. If they can put even a tenth of that energy toward the carnival, we'll be ready in no time. I hope you'll be able to attend. You won't have seen the like before, I assure you. Not to mention that we're eager to show our appreciation for your helping us with those machines. And there's no better way to do that than with a dwarven toast to your health or two. Dozen. All right. Crumbling Lies, front. We can rebuild her. That's a reference to the $6 Million Man from the 1970s show. We can rebuild him. We have the technology. We have the capabilities to make the first bionic man. The Dig Site Chief. Yeah, I can still repeat it after that long, yes. The Dig Site Chief would have you to... Let me try that again. The Dig Site Chief would have you be an active participant in Kamra's carnival. Lally, I knew you'd be here sooner or later, ho. You remember the carnival I told you about, don't you? Yes. We've finished preparing, which means it's nearly time to open celebrations with the unfurling of the banners. But first, we'll need an officially sanctioned bearer to present said banners to 3 of our people, and why not let you do the honors? Others are clamoring for the task, make no mistake. It's an important and highly coveted duty, you understand. But I couldn't deprive you of this opportunity to experience grog culture hands-on. Consider it a thank you for keeping Anog and Konog from blowing themselves up. And look sharp, we haven't got all night. Oh, thanks. I get roped into another duty. Does he have anything else for us? Come on now, the whole village is waiting. Eccentric villager? Are any of them eccentric? So the role of bearer went to the outsider after all. Nothing you can't handle, I hope. This traditional decoration for Kamra's annual celebration features an equally traditional Gog pattern rendered in 4 colors. It's not that I think the chief made a poor choice, mine. Bit of a waste, yes, but there's no better way for you to introduce yourself to the rest of the village, and wouldn't you know it, you're not so bad. Thanks, I think. They're the masters at backhanded compliments. If you want my advice on getting to know the rest of the villagers better, eat, drink, and be merry. It is carnival. Mrs. Digstein, Chief. You're a traveler, aren't you? Word travels fast in the village, which is to say that I can hear just about everything from here. I'd love to see more of the world myself, but the husband does take his work seriously. He feels responsible for the miners, you know. How are you faring? What, little old me? I'm surprised that we have a visitor for one. How exciting. If you ever tire of running errands for the husband, come and chat with me. I'd love to hear what tales you have to tell, and I'll fix you up something nice for dinner. Maybe you can even help me convince him to take me on a trip to the sea. Oh, ho, ho. What is this place? I suppose it's a bit difficult to tell by looking, isn't it? Comrade's mostly rocks and dirt on the surface, but under those rocks and dirts, though, is ore, and that's what our little village is really all about. That and other ruins, I suppose. Oh, you should have seen the husband's face when they first dug through to those. Now he's in charge of an excavation. How thrilling! What is Anog and Konog's story? Ah, the miscreants, as the husband calls them. Those two are inseparable. They do tend to make a nuisance of themselves, but they're really quite clever, don't you think? And they always seem to be working hard, even if I haven't the foggiest what on. Despite his complaints, even the husband likes them deep down. Deep down. Nice. Excitable villager. Ah, you'll be the bearer. Well, hand it over. This is what we've all been waiting for. Give him another carnival banner. Ah, the colors of Kamra. They speak of our village, our lives, our very souls. Except this one. Never really cared for this one. Looks like it tripped halfway through the journey from beige to yellow and fell in a ditch. I love these guys. They're hilarious. Earnest villager. Time already, is it? Oh, my hands are so sweaty. Oh, do take care now. I'd hate to be the one that drops the banner. Whew, well done. Let's share a drink once it's safely unfurled, eh? The carnival is our way of showing appreciation for each other, and I certainly appreciate you keeping this banner from slipping away like a greased eel. I didn't realize that the cloth was slippery. Finished, have you? Hopefully speaking with those folks helped impress upon you that this wasn't some menial errand anyone could have done. Well, no, we just tripped on the beige. No, the slightest mishap in the banner delivery process could have spelled disaster, you hear? Now, without further ado, let the carnival begin. I've been through this before, and I don't remember a thing about this, so I don't know if I skipped these cutscenes to get to the next Alliance raid unlocks, or what? Scared me for a moment there. Kev's going, okay. No need to stand there waiting for someone to give you more work to do. Go and witness the fruits of our labors. Revel, frolic, etc. If you need a task that badly, you can set yourself to working up an appetite. I expect you to partake heartily of our traditional cuisine, not to mention the drinks. I'm trying to get G'av drunk, man. Konok says, don't spare me these menial tasks if I see one more streamer. Anog says, Why, if it isn't G'av, and run absolutely ragged with tedious carnival duties, no doubt. It is indeed my solemn duty to eat my weight in carnival food, or I had the honor of delivering the banners. Thank you very much. Let's do the first one. Eating? Are you mad? There's no time for that. We've got the key to activate. All of this festive nonsense has been an unnecessary distraction, but Kannogg and I did manage to make some real progress while the chief wasn't looking. Why does that not surprise me? If you want the details, and I know you do, you'll have to meet us at the usual place. The last thing we need is half the village drunkenly eavesdropping. Kannogg just waves. All right, hold on for a moment. Let's go to the usual place. We haven't even got to the part where Kannogg and I argue yet, and I'm already knackered. Kannogg says, there you are. Let's review our work, shall we? Doubtless you've forgotten some significant detail. Oh, thanks for your support there, Kannogg. I appreciate it. As hopefully even you will recall, we required a source of energy to restore functionality to the so-called key 2P told us about. We obtained said source in the form of a knocker's crystalline carapace, though the transference of energy from crystal to key proved a challenge. Nothing that Kannogg and I, in my infinite wisdom, couldn't handle, however. Gav's going, I knew you could. You'll find your faith in us well rewarded. The key is now fully powered and, as far as we can tell, functional. So I dare say we'll soon be capable of smiting our enemies with the press of a button. Or we would be if we had the first clue as to how to operate the blasted thing. Kannogg says, indeed, it seems the key is a more complicated device than we anticipated. Thus far, we have succeeded only in making it display a series of strange glyphs. We presented these to the pod for translation, of course, but we cannot make heads nor tails of its terminology, no matter how many times we prompted to explain. The androids appear to have an intuitive, or at least finely honed, grasp of technology, so I have no doubt that 2P would know, but she's shown no sign of miraculously awakening, that's for certain. You, pod, can 2P be revived? Pod says, analyzing android repair sequence. Error detected. Confirming details. Damage to internal mechanism detected. Proposal, replace the damaged part. Kannogg says, so with a replacement part, repair is possible? I dare say facilitating the process would prove more efficient than continuing our own fruitless experimentation with the key. Kannogg says, I would hardly call wandering the factory for days on end with the barest idea of what sort of part we're looking for efficient. So, unless our friend here just happened to stumble upon a room filled with android corpses ripe for the harvesting, we could say, now that you mention it, or you could say, oh yeah, the corpse room, that's a thing. Let's do that one. Odd, but superlative. You will take us there at once. We'll bring Pod, too. It can tell us if any of the androids still have the part we need. Onward! Alright. With the chat mode in say, enter any phrase containing anog near the destination within the copied factory. Where are we supposed to go in here? Oh, we really have to go there? Okay. Let's go to zone 4. I think we can go. Or not. Really? We gotta go running all the way there? We, need zone 4. Was quite the grunt as we jumped down. I'm afraid if I click on that, I'll, like, end up having to run back again. Here's our buddies. Kanog says, not that I'm not eager to take apart an android, but how do we do that? Pod says, tactical support units are authorized to recover android parts and carry out replacement and repair operations. Anog says, a look inside the androids and a giant step toward our ultimate goal. Wow. By the by, where are we going? We're going this way. Anna, come. Over here, is it? Kanog, Pot, stop dallying. How disturbing. Kanog says, the color of their garb is different, but they do appear to be of the same make as 2P. Which means, ghoulish or not, we can make use of them. This is truly excellent, Kanog. My understanding is that Pod should be able to salvage the correct part and initiate the repairs. Let's see. If you hear the wind in outside my window, we're getting, like, 45-mile-an-hour wind gusts. It's crazy. Kanog says, the more we learn about the android's technology, the more fascinating and unnerving it becomes. Who could possibly have created this? Does Pod have anything to say? Part compatibility confirmed. Must we instruct it every single time? Go on, Pod. Fix 2P. Yes, you must. I never paid attention to the fact that those cuffs are made out of feathers. Anog says, did it work? And they cheer. G'av smiles, nods. We can rebuild her amusement park orchestron roll. Anog says, I hope that the part replacement won't result in memory loss. We have too many unanswered questions. Pod says, repair process complete. 2P says, restore the... What was I saying? Anog says, the glee in Anog's eyes at the sight of 2P's awakening could only be born of keen self-interest. It would not be wise to keep her waiting. Sweet success. Let's not waste any more time about it. 2P, do you remember what happened? I was damaged in combat and you brought me here. And then you wildly inconvenienced us by dying on the table. Yes. Such an inconvenience for you to die. Oh my God. Fortunately for you, we were clever enough to pick up Pod here, and by the fact that we're having this conversation, I assume it's succeeded in repairing the damage. I see. Did you locate the key as I instructed? Despite how little information we had to go on, we did. It's fully operational as far as we can tell, so can you use it? Uh-oh. That's not good. What? An earthquake! Everyone! Outside, now! Oh my! The place is blowing up. Run with me, friends, towards the danger. Yeah, you know, they're not my favorite raids because they're the longer ones of... probably the longest ones of out of all the Alliance raids. And I never had played the Near stories before, so I'll have to do that sometime. And some of the mechanics, like the Red Girl fight, I hate. Just hate that one. But these cutscenes, the story behind this is hilarious. Right, Anog says, the mountain? What happened to the mountain? Something bad, apparently. Being attacked by flying ships. This isn't... Anog, look! 2P's ready to battle, man. 2P, no! There are too many. Worried for me? Don't be. We magically turned them into allies? What's the meaning of this? It means that your assistance is no longer necessary. Uh-oh. Nice. Okay, who's this chick now? Have it your way, then. See this world to its end. Yeah, I've never played any of the other Final Fantasy games. At some point, I need to pick those up. I don't even know where to start because there's so many of them. Konok says, I know, I worried, but I thought she was our friend. Android in Black says, and who are you? You could say you first, or if your dress... Is your dress about to turn white? Because if so, why not? I'm Yorha number 2, Type B unit, but you may call me 2B. I'm here to destroy the androids in white. Because that makes it oh so clear now. Konok says, we can discuss this later. Right now, we've got to stop 2P. Yes, I'm sure both the 2B and 2P sets have imaginative arm glamour uses. Those boots are killer, man. I'm totally gonna get them for my Mama Cat Gamer tune. Puppet's Bunker now accessible. Alright, do they have anything else to say for us? Anok says, what have I done? Well, a lot. Konok says, we made a fine mess of things to be sure, but it's hardly the first time. Nothing for it but to fix it. Okay. Just wiped out our village, but, you know, no problem. We'll just rebuild it. Careful. They may intend for us to follow. Okay, that's helpful. Okay. Let's speak with the manager of Suites Independence. We're going to go back to the Crystarium. Because at this time of day, the queue will be insanely long for one single Alliance raid. Even on our server, which pops pretty quickly. You tried to be a gentleman. I appreciate that. I work in the medical field, man. Nothing phases me too much. But yeah, we do need to keep it PG-13 friendly here. All right. I wonder if that... quest is what I need to do to... unlock flying in that Lakeland zone. Oh, yes! Heggie is looking for someone willing to make a delivery to Fort Job. Hail, sinner! Well, thanks for that greeting there. Might this old woman impose upon you to travel to Fort Job in her stead? My son Chathwick is with the guard out there, and I have a package for him that wants delivering. I'd go myself, but my knees simply aren't up to the task. Aw. How often do we see little babies? I think this is like the first one I've ever seen in game. Okay, that's kind of cute. Let's go turn this Fort Job one in case we gotta... in case we gotta go travel out there again. Oh, I work in the eye field. So, lovingly wrapped parcel. A brown paper parcel tied up with string, like as not to contain a few of Chathwick's favorite things. All tied up with a string. Oh my gosh. Brown paper parcel tied up with string. It's Sound of Music reference there. Oh, food for Mother. Everyone would be so pleased. Her last letter mentioned how distraught she was to hear that members of the Guard had given their lives at Holminster Switch, and how touched that so many more risked themselves to protect it. Yeah, in that field, yeah. But of course she would be. Our whole family is from there, after all. I expect that she wanted to express her feelings by preparing food for us. She does that. Wait a moment. You were at Holminster Switch too, weren't you? I saw you on the front lines. I knew it. I don't think I could ever forget the sight of you facing down eater after eater without ever once flinching, and it's not just me. You're an inspiration to all of us. Here's an idea. What if you pass these out to the rest of the Guard? I'm sure that they'll be awestruck. Wait a minute. Oh, I bet this is up the stairs or something like that. Or up top there. Alright, now if I can figure out how to get up there, that'd be great. Oh, there's the stairs. You know, I actually did a little bit of nursing school. I have tremendous respect for nurses. Some of them are better than some doctors I've met, believe it or not. Homemade meal. You have my thanks for this, of course, but also for the battle. I remember you well. Though we lost many, it would have been many more without your aid. Oh, I forgot this bot had this thing on saying I'm on Kick. I have a channel on Kick, but I haven't posted anything there yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to continue there or not. Because it seems like it's more of a gambling site than anything else, and that's, you know, it's just not my vibe. All right, you made your point, Joan Rick. Let's give him a sandwich. Chadwick's mother made this? That's the best news I've had in days. Her cooking is excellent. I was sorry that we couldn't save their home, but at least the whole family made it out alive. Working in aged care is you either love it or hate it. I don't know if there's any in between there. And to do it well is a good challenge. Ah, food, thank you. And may I just say it's a true honor to have you here. Your bravery on the field will not soon be forgotten. I worked in a nursing home practice for a while. Went around doing eye exams for folks in nursing homes, and I saw some really good nursing homes, and I saw some horrible ones. One of which I actually sent a report into the state about. Wicked White, you're him, and you were there in the middle of it all, strong as 100 men, a bulwark against the tide of eaters that threatened to overwhelm us, and now you've brought me a sandwich. Yeah, right? Right? Speak with Chadwick. Yeah, that's definitely not one of the more lucrative fields for sure. Pleased, were they? I expected as much. I apologize for asking such a trifling task of you, but we lost a lot of people on the battlefield. Anything that might raise morale is well worth trying. And I thought that if they admire you even half as much as I do, well... In any case, you have my sincerest gratitude. I saved my favorite portion of the food for you, so please take it along with my thanks. Oh, they gave me grilled rail. All right, finally. I now have flying. With the realm at relative peace, I've been encouraging those under my command to take the occasional respite. To a man they have refused, saying they would not think of shirking their duties while straggling sin-eaters and savage beasts still plague the land. I do say, and it brings a tear to my eye. Nice. All right. Finally got flying unlocked. I knew I was missing something somewhere. I just couldn't figure out where it was until I went, oh, there's a blue quest there. Maybe I should go check that out. Yeah, right, right. My job happily lets me have Wednesdays off, so... But I work Saturdays. Some Saturdays, not everyone anymore. I did my time. I don't have to do every Saturday anymore. Hi, Jakey! Jakey likes to come sit on my shoulder in the morning when I was streaming in the morning, but for whatever reason, he doesn't like coming up on my shoulder in the afternoons. Oh, what did he just say? Pleasure as always, Master Tia. I am relieved to see you were unharmed in the earlier commotion. Though, if I may, you do look somewhat weary. I presume you'll be retiring to your suite? Yes. Very good. Do let me know if there's anything you require. It makes me want to Stretch my neck there while he's doing that. Master Tia, it's Glynnard from the Wandering Stairs. I apologize for calling so late. Come on in. A friend of yours was asking after you. You may remember them from that business with the cardinal virtues. What charming accommodations, says Lurik. I'd come to dine at the Wandering Stairs, you see, when I spied a considerable gathering of locals. Then the sky caught fire and, well... You must know what it all means. Anything you'd care to share with a friend? That is alarming, to say the least. It's all well and good that others have come to appreciate the Warriors of Light, but we cannot allow this charlatan to exploit their legacies. So... Yes, why not? We shall reform the indomitable duo that is Reek and G'av and put an end to this shenanigans. That's very kind of you, or eager as ever, I see. Yes, I know, no need to say it. You've no intentions of involving me. I'm stupid, but I'm not naive. You're the better hunter, and the better person besides. I'm reminded of Brenda Ray, though that's hardly a surprise, is it? For her sake, for all of theirs, show this pretender what it truly means to be a hero. And this scene is why you have to finish your role quest before you can go any farther in the MSQ. Meanwhile, in the Crystal Tower's umbilicus...
Foiled again. If I cannot imbue the infernal thing with my power via magical means, we may need to devise a way to infuse the vessel with my blood after all. Art thou unwell?
Are you unwell?
perhaps a brief respite? It wouldn't do to overtax yourself.
I'm fine.
No, he's not.
And given to stubbornness, I'm afraid. Especially when I have a stake in the outcome.
No, it's Xenos. That outfit is really cool compared to the other one.
The dream again.
Meanwhile, in the source...
A recurring dream. They do so fascinate me. Might I trouble you for the details?
That's Asahi's voice. And he's like, supposed to be dead.
I have always dreamed of it. Fire falling from the heavens, and the city, nay, the whole world ablaze.
Indeed. Could Emmett Selk have found a way? Precious few possess memories of the final days.
The final days.
Why, yes. Admittedly, my knowledge is mostly second-hand, but if you are interested, I will gladly tell you the tale. The tale of the world's end.
That smile. Way more heroes. What does that one do? Completed the main scenario quest, Echoes of Fallen Star. Okay. In the name of the light. The manager of suites is looking a little anxious. Ah, Master Tia, will you be venturing forth today? Do be sure to take care if so. Though they say the star shower was harmless, one can never be too careful. But I concede it is not for me to tell the Warrior of Darkness how to look after himself. Old habits, you understand? Ah, G'av, how very opportune. Greetings, my friend. Do you perchance have a moment to spare? That's Morin, librarian. Wonderful, wonderful. I want to thank you, you see, for revealing to us the truth of the Warriors of Light. After all these years, your tales set the record straight. Finally, the people see them as the great heroes they were. Or the great hero he is, in the case of Ardbert. You too were surprised to see him, I think. Just a little, since he's supposed to be dead. At the time, I was not certain what to make of it all, but I could see the effect his words had on those around me. And then the stars rained down from the sky and, well, you know the rest. Then the commotion died down. When the commotion died down, you were nowhere to be seen, but I was determined to express my gratitude, and so here I am. Thank you, G'av, for giving voice to the truth and restoring the Warriors of Light to their rightful place in history. Should you perhaps wish to have your account of these matters committed to writing, I would be more than willing to serve as your scribe. Indeed, if there is anything I can do to help, anything at all, you need only say the word. Can you bring me another sandwich? So you could say, what can you tell me about the Warriors of Light? Or, very well, tell me what the situation is like in the city. Let's do the latter. No, he's going to do the former. I beg your pardon. You wish to ask me about the Warriors of Light? Forgive me, but I dare say you already know more about them than any living soul. Save for Ardbert himself, of course. Unless you refer to the Warriors of Light more broadly? If so, I may yet be able to assist you in some small way. Excellent. I shall return to the cabinet at once and look up the relevant texts. Pray, join me at your earliest convenience. No rest for the righteous, it would seem, says the manager of suites. Do not let me keep you, sir. I bid you a pleasant day. Let's go to the cabinet. Oh, I gotta go this way. Ah, G'av, excellent timing. I've but this moment finished gathering the materials for our lesson. As a great many works make reference to the Warriors of Light, I shall, with your permission, focus only upon the details that seem most relevant. Sure. The Warriors of Light, you say? Forgive us, but we couldn't help overhearing. Says Alfino. Elise says, we've been out keeping watch over the Crystarium, but it appears to be business as usual. So I thought I'd spend some time brushing up my knowledge of familiars, and Alfino volunteered to help. Green says, I actually came on a different errand, but I'd be interested in hearing about the Warriors of Light as well. May I join you? Sure, why not? Of course, the more the merrier, says Morin. If you would care to find a table below, I shall be down with the books in a moment. Were one to pore over the annals of frantic history, one would note the comparatively frequent recurrence of individuals hailed as warriors of light. Ardbert and his comrades require no introduction, but many others bore the epithet long before them. To name but a few, there was Tothwyl, legendary first king of Lakeland, Rodfert and Sullard, the fabled Dran and Galagant duo of Ferbert, and no list of Rantic heroes would be complete without the archmage Tiuna of Ronka. In older texts, she too was called a warrior of light. Elisa said, "It did surprise me how ready people were to forget the negative associations of the title, but it makes sense if it's been around for centuries." Morin says, "Verily, in ages past it was simply a synonym for hero. In the wake of the flood, however, light came to be regarded with fear, the title used not to exalt, but to revile." A far cry from its beginnings. This, my friends, is Norvrant's oldest epic, the original tale of the struggle between good and evil. It's remarkably like innocence, doesn't it? In a time when all lay shrouded in darkness, a prophesied hero rose to deliver the world from its doom. Fighting in the name of the light, the hero styled himself its foot soldier, and thus did he come to be known as the Warrior of Light. Curiously, in the centuries that followed, other heroes appeared who claimed the selfsame epithet, despite sharing no discernible connection with their predecessors. And in time, Warrior of Light came to be a name accorded to all men and women of uncommon skill and valor. Kinda like it does in the source. Alfino says, well, well, the plot thickens. As you know, the title of Warrior of Light is also used in the source. Really, Alfino, really. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Though the manners in which individuals have earned it are many and varied, heroes have been honored thus since antiquity. Nor does the custom show any sign of dying out, as you can well attest. Min says, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? It surely can't be a coincidence. Alfino says, indeed not. Let us imagine a man who is awakened to the echo and is able to hear Heidelin's voice. As she styles him, so too does he style himself, a warrior of light. Of course, being blessed with the echo does not in itself make one a hero. And conversely, there will have been no few heroes who were not blessed with it. But such distinctions are immaterial to the masses, and over time they came to use the title Warrior of Light and the word hero interchangeably. Alice says, sounds about right. It would be interesting to see if the theory holds true in the other worlds, if crossing the rift were that easy. You could say, Heidelin did call me a warrior of light, or what's in a name? It doesn't change anything, or, and here I was thinking I was special. Let's do the last one. Oh, he looks so sad. Rin says, but you are special. No matter how many warriors of light there are out there, there's no one like you. Alice says, at any rate, assuming all of this is true, and there's a common thread behind the epithet, I doubt the Asians will have been amused. To have the world at large associate light, and by extension Heidelin, with good, must have added insult to injury. Morin says, while this discussion is undeniably fascinating, I wonder, should I be privy to it? Mayhap it would be better if I excuse myself? Elpidus says, oh, no need for that, my friend. Pray, accept our apologies. Your lesson on the Warriors of Light has given us much to ponder. Little girl's voice, oh, did somebody say Warriors of Light? What? Uh-oh. Ah, we've seen these three kiddos before. At least I think we have. Morin says, Riki Tio, are you all right? Oh, my precious tomes. Oh, did I not say you must take care in the cabinet? You too, Arkil. Airwell. We're sorry, Master Morin. Aren't you the Warrior of Darkness? My name's Riki Tio, and I want to help everyone. Please, tell me what I have to do to be a hero, to be a warrior of light. Gav's going, I don't know. What am I supposed to tell a 5-year-old girl? Or however old she is. What does Alphino say? Setting aside our misgivings, it would seem churlish to discourage the young lady. Let's hear what she has to say. Alize says, no harm done. To the children, at least. Probably. Even children want to become warriors of light. Morin says, the children's inquisitiveness is to be commended, but, oh, my precious tomes. Airwell says, we're sorry we knocked over the books. Arkil says, do you remember me? When you returned from the sea with the Exarch, I asked you how you became so strong. Riki Tio says, so I want to be a warrior of light, but not one that fights with a sword and all that. No, I want to be the kind that fights with potions and heals people, an apothecary. And I'm going to help everyone in the Crystarium. No, in all of Norvrant. When I told Arkil and Airwell about this, they said that the cabinet should have lots of tomes about potions. But this place is so big and we don't have the faintest idea where to begin searching. At this rate, I'm not going to get anywhere. Alphino says, if one knew where to look, one should indeed be able to find treatises on potions here. Even so, I fear they may prove a little difficult for one so young, but, Esteemed warrior of darkness, perhaps you might accompany young Riki Tio to Spagarix? Rather than through tomes, I believe she stands to learn more by observing the Chirurgeons at their work. Alize says, sounds like a plan. It seems we've finished here, so we'll come with you. We could say last one to Spagarix is a rotten egg, or I'll go but only for a little while, or I don't have time for this. I think G'av would say last one to Spagarix is a rotten egg kind of dude. Riki Tio says, ha! I'll have you know I'm really fast. You're going to be the rotten egg. Does Morin have anything else to say? I shall remain here and tidy up. I hope that today's lessons will be of some use to you. Yeah. If you can only find the door, I'd be in great shape. I love the music in this city. Reen says, "It appears there aren't so many patients at the moment. I only pray that such peaceful days continue." Airwell says, "After you finish helping Ricky, can you help us become warriors of light too?" Chesameel's medicines work really well. I just wish they didn't taste so bad. Elise says, "A warrior who fights with potions. It's certainly innovative. I prefer a blade myself, but to each your own." Alfino says, "See how her eyes shine, my friend. We have made her day." Asian machination or no, it wouldn't do to dash the dreams of one so young. The Exarch would feel the same, I believe. "Right, I'm here. What do I do? What do I do?" Spoken like a true kid. Chesameel says, "Well now, to what do I owe the pleasure of so many bright-eyed visitors?" "Is that the way of it, sweetie? You wish to learn about medicine?" Riki says, "That's right. I want to become a warrior of light who uses potions to help people all over the world." "Well, that is a very noble endeavor, and you aren't alone in it. No few at our infirmary yearn to venture forth as warriors of light, but ultimately they have all decided not to pursue that dream." "Huh? Why?" "Because the people here need them too, sweetie. The guards who place themselves in harm's way to keep us safe, the artisans who toil tirelessly that we might sustain our way of life, and younglings like you who are the future of the Crystarium. They couldn't simply abandon them, you see, and so, difficult though it was, they made the decision to remain." "Then, does this mean my dream isn't any good?" "Oh, sweetie, yours is a wonderful dream, and it would be my pleasure to help you to pursue it. If we all work hard, the day will come when our chirurgeons may set forth to aid folk in every corner of the realm. As we strive towards that day, I hope that we can rely upon you as well. Though I must warn you, ours is not an easy path. No, you must work very, very hard." "I'm not afraid of hard work. I'll become the best apothecary ever. Just you watch." "That's the spirit. Without further ado, then, may I entrust you with a task? I've placed an order at Sweet Sieve for a potion ingredient, and I would like you to go and collect it." "Ooh, an ingredient. Leave it to me, miss." My, such an abundance of energy. Though I can't help wonder if she'll be all right by herself. "My apologies, but would you mind accompanying her? When you arrive at Sweet Sieve, speak with a woman named Gracine, and she will point you in the right direction." Elfino says, "I shall join you. As the one who suggested this course to Riki Tio, I would assist in her first steps." "Sure, why not?" Alize says, "And what about you, the two of you? Are you coming along too?" Airwell says, "Well, we do want to become warriors of light, just not the same kind as Riki. So we'll wait for you here, warrior of darkness. When you return, please teach us how to fight." Alize says, "In that case, Reen and I shall keep them company and take the opportunity to ask about their aspirations." "Sure, why not?" Let's read everything else. "If it's to be had at Sweet Sieve, I assume the ingredient is some manner of crop." Airwell says, "We won't move an ilm until you return." Arkil says, "We know you're busy, but we want to be just like you. We hope you'll teach us how." Alize says, "Too many grown-ups would only diminish Riki Tio's sense of accomplishment. We'll stay here and talk to her friends." Chesameel says, "Thank you, sweetie. I feel better knowing that you'll keep an eye on Riki Tio." All right, speak with Gracine. think we have to go out here. Watering all day long. Okay. What does Tobil say? It would seem all our worries about the loss of light were for naught. Our crops are growing as well as ever. I must share the good news with my colleagues at the Hortorium. Have you perchance met a researcher there by the name of Mao Lad? He's a close friend of mine and one of the gentlest souls I know. I don't remember if we have or not, to be honest. Yes, 4 apples, 7 lemons. How many times must you count them? If it isn't the Warrior of Darkness himself, may I assume you're with Master Alfino? Yep. Right. Lest you wonder, Chesameel's order is for grapes. As busy as we've been of late, however, I regret to say we didn't have the time to harvest them. So it was with apologies that I asked Master Alfino and his young companion to help themselves to the fruits on the vines. Maybe you could lend them a hand? It's the undersized grapes that you'll want to pick. They're too small for normal consumption, but suitable for making wine and medicine. Are these small enough? Ah, there you are. As it turns out, the ingredient still wants for harvesting, so we are going about that now. Okay, let's go harvest some undersized grapes. Oh, you're here too? We're picking little grapes. It's quite fun. Undersized grapes, though too small for normal consumption, these grapes are suitable for making wine and medicine. Wow, you've picked this many already? Amazing! I dare say we have enough between us. Shall we take them back to Chesameel? I can't wait to see what she's going to do with them. Tell me, Riki, what made you want to become an apothecary and warrior of light? Why, well, a while ago I fell sick, really sick. My body was burning up and I felt so weak I couldn't even get out of bed. Then a traveling apothecary came and gave me a potion to drink. It was the foulest thing I'd ever tasted, but it made me get better. She was so brave, the apothecary, I mean. She went around taking care of people, even when it was dangerous. And I decided I wanted to help people just like her. So I started brewing potions out of grass and giving them to my friends. But I didn't really know what I was doing, or if there was anything else I could do. Then, not long ago, a neighbor told me he was going to become a warrior of light and to go traveling the world helping people. And I thought that's the same as what I want to do. I see. Out of curiosity, what did your neighbor do in the end? Thaler? I haven't seen him for a bit, so he must already be out there looking for people to help. You're going, Thaler? Alfino says, Thaler? One of the guards awakened by the star shower. Thank you for sharing your tale with us, Riki Tio. I myself took inspiration from one not unlike your traveling apothecary, and I hope her good example will spur you on to realize your dreams. But it will not be done in a day. Such lofty goals are reached through hard work and persistence, through countless little acts of heroism, like delivering the grapes to Chesameel. Who knew Alfino could be good with children? It's come a long way since his pompous little self in Realm Reborn, right? It would seem I have been laboring under a misapprehension. I had convinced myself that it was Elidibus who had sowed the desire to become warriors of light within the hearts of the people. But I see now that the impulse to aid their fellow man abided within them from the first. Elidibus did no more than give it a name. It's an interesting theory. And as he so kindly proclaimed, we must return to our own world ere long. With the Exarch laboring tirelessly, I doubt not but that a way will be found. Yet I believe I speak for us all when I say I cannot leave in good conscience, not until we have dealt with Elidibus. You may not have a choice, Alfino. This is no longer a strange and distant land, after all. Norvrant has become as a home to us, and her people our own. Let us return to Spagarix. It wouldn't do to keep your admirers waiting. Okay.
What's for dinner tonight, Mom?
Hold on a moment. Using a tissue on camera just kind of disturbs. It's just a disturbing idea. I don't want to do that to y'all. I know people use Kleenex all the time, but still. What does she have to say? Amathea, with Yulmore opening their gates to the outside world, we've been able to bring in new supplies and medicines like never before. This should hold us off for the foreseeable future, barring any disastrous turns of events. Feihan, I was so preoccupied with my tasks that I missed the star shower entirely. If only I had more assistance, I might be a warrior of light by now. Pauline says, thanks to you, the patients seem far more at ease in our care. Restoring their sense of hope has been a most effective medicine. Kind of nice to see your progress, right? Rikitio was beaming with pride when she returned. It may only have been a simple task, but she won't soon forget this achievement. Airwell. Huzzah, you're back. We're ready to start learning. Arco says, Riki didn't make you drink one of her grass potions, did she? No, thank goodness. Alize says, after chatting with Arkil and Airwell here, we came to an agreement. But I'll let them explain their requests themselves. Afino says, Rikitio has delivered her grapes, as have I. Thanks for helping with the grapes, Warrior of Darkness. In return, I promise to brew you a potion one day. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Riki. Chesamil says, my thanks for your kind help, sweetie. We now have all the ingredients we require. From the grapes, we shall make a vinegar, to which we will add elf grass and a few other herbs to produce an invigorating syrup. Though it's unspeakably sour, it does wonders for the constitution. As part of her studies, I may just have to give Rikitio a little taste. That's just mean. Do you have anything else? My thanks for bringing this lively little one to us. I shall do my best to make an apothecary out of her. Okay, they didn't have anything new to say. Airwells regards you expectantly for heroic dreams. Warrior of Darkness, if you've finished helping Riki, won't you show us some fighting? Not play fighting, but honest gods fighting? That'd probably kill you, kiddo. We already have some enemies that you can deal with. Vampire bats. The guards say they've become a pest around the Crystarium of late. We tried to sneak outside to hunt them, but the guards caught us and sent us home. They shouldn't mind if you were doing the fighting and we were just watching. Alize says, the children told us as much while you were away, and in preparation, Chesamil kindly furnished us with some lures for the bats. While the creatures won't give you any sport, bear in mind that the younglings will be watching. That's to say, put on a good show, yes? Right, let's head out at once. Everyone, follow me. Alize, wait just a... Come on then, children. They have anything else? I shall remain here with Riki Tio. The other children I leave in your care, my unruly sister included. What? Everybody's going outside to see you fight? Oh, I wanted to watch too. But no, I have to study. I'll stay here and help Chesamil make the syrup. Be careful out there, yes, but if you can't be careful, you can always come back here. To have your syrup? Maybe not. Where do we gotta go for this? I'll speak with Alize at the Exarch Gate. Okay. I wonder where they're going. Rean says it should be safe enough for the children here. Arkiel says, we've heard the tales, but at last we can see you fight with our own eyes. Errol says, we've been waiting for you, Warrior of Darkness. Alice says, everyone's here. Good. Let's get started, shall we? As their name suggests, vampire bats feed on blood, and originally being nocturnal creatures, they've grown more active with the return of night and become a nuisance. To draw them out, we'll use Chesamil's lures, which work by exploiting their heat-seeking behavior. The bats are wont to nest under the eaves, so you are like to attract more if you place the lures near buildings. I have 6 lures, 3 each for you and me. As proof of a successful kill, I want you to gather up their fangs. Whoever collects the most is the winner. Oh, you're hunting too? Yes, well, there's nothing like friendly competition to bring out the best in G'av. Anyway, while we hunt the bats, the 2 of you are to stay with Reen. She's really strong too and will keep you safe. Without further ado, then, let the contest begin. Reen says, don't mind us. We'll be watching from a safe distance. Errol says, so the bats nest under the eaves. It's important to know your enemy. He's right, actually. I won't blink, not even once. All right. Thank God I unlocked flying. Target not in range, because I'm like turned slightly away from it. Oh, we're not under an eave. We need to be under an eave of some sort. Right. Back to the kids and Reen. Airwell says, the bats didn't stand a chance. Arkeel says, wow, that was amazing. Reen says, well fought, G'av. The children were hanging on your every move. As was I, to be honest, though I know the tally. May I see your fangs for good measure? Apologies for the wait. My fangs, not a bad haul, even if I do say so myself. Five, six, seven fangs from Alize. Uh-oh, we only got 6. Which means the victory goes to Alize. G'av collected 6. G'av going, wait, I lost? Ah, I did it! I bested G'av! In another goddamn life? You didn't even try, did you? And here I was taking it seriously. Spare me your pity next time, will you? So, children, you've now seen the Warrior of Darkness in action. What are your impressions? Incredible, miss. The bats were down before they knew it. Our guards are strong, but the Warrior of Darkness is much, much stronger. We want to be just like him. Good. If you're looking for an example to emulate, you may as well pick the best. I want you to remember how you felt when you watched G'av and train hard. Keep at it for long enough and you'll be strong too. It's true. Reen says, if you don't mind telling us, when did you decide that you wanted to become Warriors of Light? Well, we were there listening with everyone when Ardbert appeared, but I've wanted to be strong ever since before I came to the Crystarium. The Sin Eaters killed my father and my sister, see, and I promised myself I'd learn how to protect people one day. Like Ardbert said, this is our home. We're the ones who have to protect it. We're the ones who have to rise up as new Warriors of Light. What about you, Arkeel? Me? To be honest, I'm still not sure what I want to do. Nothing wrong with that. But if my friends were in trouble, I know that I would want to help them. And I want to go on adventures with them, see the world together. Rean says, that's a wonderful goal. Arca says, you really think so? It's hard to explain, but it's something I felt when I saw the star shower the other day. I felt as though there was something I'd lost and that I had to go out there and find it. Elise says, well, for the both of you, there's nothing for it but to train. When we return to the city, I'll teach you some exercises you can do by yourselves. Thanks for showing us your fighting skills, Warrior of Darkness. We'll never forget it. Goodbye. Go away. Elise says, I understand how Arkil feels. The star shower didn't awaken me to Hydaelyn's voice, but that vision of the final days, of Amarot burning, it filled me with sadness to the very pit of my being. Things I once knew, people I once loved, promises I once made, it felt as though long-forgotten memories were dancing at the edges of my mind. But when I try to focus on them, they simply fade away. An effect of having a fractured soul, I shouldn't doubt. But lest you worry, I'm perfectly happy to remain fractured and have no intentions of donning an Ascian mask. I just wish we knew what Elidibus was plotting. But look at this pair of incurable brooders. If we're going to stand around lost in thought, we may as well do it back in the city. Rest assured, Rean and I will take the children from here. Their heads will be in the clouds after meeting you, but we'll see to it that their feet remain firmly planted on the ground. Uh-oh. It's nothing, just a dizzy spell. Seems I tried a little too hard to beat you. I'm fine now, not to worry. I'll see you soon. As you ponder Alize's words, you are taken by an urge to revisit the scene of that fateful meeting. We gotta go run all the way up those stairs again. Let's see if he has anything new to say, too. Zemjin Mai. That star shower gave our Amuro a nasty turn. As I'm constantly forced to mention, they are intelligent creatures, and I find myself disinclined to put my faith in a phenomenon they mislike, regardless of what men say of it. You know, I'd queue for that Alliance raid, but these cutscenes are so long and I don't want to miss any of them.
Why am I... Was it you who called me here?
Uh-oh, an echo. On behalf of the convocation, I bid you welcome to our order. At times you will stand with us, at times you will stand against us. All that you might steer mankind in the very star upon their true course. For yours is the seat of Elidibus, the emissary, and by this name shall your every action be guided.
So you peered into my memories. No matter. You will have found little of import. But I see you intended to summon me here no more than I intended to come. The fault is mine. Such is the burden of hope.
You could say, give back Ardbert's body. Why must you embroil the people in your plans, or what are you plotting? I feel like G'av would say, give back Ardbert's body.
What fool would relinquish his weapon on the eve of battle? That which I do is no different from that which you have done so many times, Warrior of Darkness.
I don't think we've co-opted corpses, thank you very much.
I arm myself, I hone my skills, I make ready to vanquish my enemy. You. You who have murdered my brothers, who have taken their selfless labors in service to the one true world and turned them to ash. I see you for what you are. You are death, and only in death shall you serve any purpose. The convocation charged me to steer mankind and the very star upon their true course. As Elidibus, it is my duty, and I shall see it done. I will strike you down.
Good luck with that.
Destroy you, body and soul. All else must wait. Ere long I will come for you, Warrior of Darkness. And I will save the world. One last matter. I bore witness to your final struggle with Emet-Selch. It seemed as if he saw something familiar in you. As if he mistook you for another.
Hythlodaeus called me his new old friend.
No. I recall not of whom he spoke. Mayhap I never knew you. Or mayhap it is another fragment lost.
Ah, I wasn't aware you already had a guest. If the conversation is constructive, I shall not intrude. But if you seek to stir up trouble, Elidibus, then I must insist you leave at once.
Though you lack her blessing, your soul is surprisingly dense.
Worry not. I seem to be unharmed. This is my own doing.
the consequence of my recent exertions. It is the tower's way of compensating me for the demands I have placed on it. Rest assured, it is no great inconvenience at present. Indeed, I told Beck Lug as much, but they would not be persuaded and sent me away to rest. No need to make a fuss. Strange as it may sound, I consider it something of a badge of honor. One of the brave souls who saw me delivered unto the first once said that the world shall ever have a place for tales of heroism so long as we have need of inspiration in our lives. Though he and his fellows had no way of knowing whether their mad scheme would amount to anything, they knew that the attempt alone would inspire hope, or so they hoped. A more optimistic lot one would be hard-pressed to find. They said they would find a means to save our God's forsaken world, just as soon as they had sent me on my way. Said it with such confidence that, for a fleeting moment, I half believed them. Such faith, such courage in the face of unrelenting despair. For a long time, it was more than I could bear to remember them. But having come this far, having sent full many on their way myself, I see things more clearly. To take action is to hope. To believe, to choose to believe, is to take the first step towards a brighter future. And why do I tell you this? Because I want you to indulge me in a little recklessness. Needless to say, I have a plan. And when all is said and done, I will ask yet another favor of you.
You're both here. Oh, thank goodness.
What's wrong?
It's Thancred. He's collapsed.
Oh no. What's happening is G'av is, or Crystal Exarch is developing, I believe it's called crystallosis. And his body is literally crystallizing. He says, I'm so glad I found both you and the Exarch. May as well accept that on Summoner. The fates seem determined not to allow us a quiet moment, but come, let us have the details from Reen. I don't think I need any of these. The rest of our conversation must wait. Let us hear the situation from Reen. Reen's face is a picture of worry. It occurred after Alize and I saw the children back to Spagarix. We chanced to meet Thancred there, returning from his mission. He'd been shadowing Elidibus around the realm, only to lose sight of him near the Crystarium. And he was in the middle of telling us where he'd been when he just crumpled to the ground. The Corrigians are looking after him now, with Alphino standing by, just in case his healing magics are needed. Since I couldn't do anything to help, I thought it best to find you, and the guard at the Excedra told me where to look. The Exarch says, I see. It cannot have been easy leaving Thancred's side. My thanks for bearing word to us. Come, let us hurry to Spagarix. Elfino says, I fear this bodes ill, and not just for Thancred. Reen says, Thancred, shouldn't you be resting? Alize says, Reen found you then. We had to send the children off earlier than planned. They understood. Ixar says, it appears our friend has already awakened, and for that, at least, we can be thankful. They dragged you here too, did they? My apologies. The Exarch says, how do you feel? Thancred says, embarrassed, but otherwise well enough. I won't be staying overnight. Elfino says, this episode was not the result of any injury I could find. Thancred's ether, however, did show signs of instability, and I did what I could to calm the fluctuations. Exarch says, And all of this happened without warning. Not exactly. You will doubtless recall the time Urianger nearly drowned and I gallantly went to his rescue. When his water-walking charm failed, he was tired, as were you when you got back. We were both spent, yes, on account of which you begged us to rest, which in retrospect may have been a good idea. The fact is, I've been experiencing regular bouts of lightheadedness ever since, but there was no actual fainting until now. As Alfino observed, I have no lingering injuries, and it most assuredly isn't old age. Which leaves but one likely cause. The Exarch says, the link between body and soul is weakened further. Time grows short. We must complete the spirit vessel with all haste. To that end, G'av, might I trouble you to make a trip to the source? In addition to looking in on our friends' bodies, I would have you consult Kryl about our plan. If she has any concerns, we should at least endeavor to address them prior to proceeding. Thancred says, in the meantime, we should get back to laying bare Elidibus's plot. Thus far, I've learned this much, that in each of the places he has visited, there have been sightings of suspicious black-clad strangers. Moreover, the coming of these shady individuals has invariably coincided with some manner of misfortune, beasts terrorizing settlements, blight ravaging crops, you know, that sort of thing. Alfino says, all of which serves rather conveniently to make Elidibus's call for new heroes reverberate that much more loudly in the hearts of his audience. And you think those black-clad strangers are Ascians? Thancred says, I do, and I fully intend to investigate further, though for that I shall require additional feet on the ground. Alize says, you can count on mine. Gods know I've been itching to get out there for a while. The Exarch says, mayhap Urianger too can be prevailed upon to join in your efforts. He has already provided copious guidance on the matter of the spirit vessel's construction. It is for Beklug and I to wrestle with the rest. Thancred says, well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well take him... Well, if you can spare the old boy, we may as well make use of him. I'll go and give him the good news. I don't know if Urianger will think that's good news or not. Alice says, you'll do no such thing, however heedless you are of your own well-being. If you care at all for Reen's feelings, you'll stay in bed until you're needed. Alfino and I will find Urianger. Thancred goes, whoa. Alfino says, all being well, we will have news to share by the time we return. Safe travels, G'av. Reen says, I know you cross the rift all the time, but please take care. Thancred says, lest you misunderstand, I'm not averse to putting my feet up. It's being coddled like a brittle-boned nonagerian that chafes. You know that we all have to come to grips with the fact that bodies age, right? And, you know, sometimes it's hard. Let's go to standing. Rising stones. It's the Tia boys, yes. I love my Tia boys. Jonathan Bailey's voice. Oh. Okay, so they don't have anything new for us. Hold that thought for a moment. And unfortunately, Graha's crystallosis is getting worse. Kultane says, with Riel now out in the field, I was asked to return to make up for his absence. Alas, Hori and the others were unable to accompany me. Okay. Say, Fami have anything new? Mistress Kryle has apprised us of the Archon's present and unexpected situation. You may rest assured we will support her in any way we can to keep their bodies safe. Tataru. Yeah, what excellent, I mean, awful timing. You see, our friends, they've taken a turn for the worse. Kryle's hardly had a moment's rest these past few days. She didn't want everyone to worry, so we've been keeping it quiet. Oh, but listen to me, I call myself a receptionist and I haven't even bothered to ask you why you're here. So they think the spirit vessel will be ready soon and they want to make sure there's no problems at this end. You'd better talk to Kryle. She's with the others in Dawn's Respite. Let's go and see her. But just prepare yourself, all right? Anything else? Dawn's Respite is through that door. Lead the way when you're ready. Okay, let's go.
Excuse us. This way.
Yeah, Tiny Birdie just kind of skipped over that.
It was telling you about you can move once per turn, and to do that, basically you would you want this room, you switch between them.
I would rather you hadn't seen this.
I'm sorry. We have urgent tidings.
Oh, no, I'm not angry with you. On the contrary, I know full well how hard everyone has been searching for a way to return home. And I had hoped to afford you the time you needed. But given our friend's present state, perhaps it was for the best that you came. Stiff and cold, all of them. As if they were made of wax, barely alive at all.
Yeah, that's not gonna be easy with ones just.
And they had been doing so well. Save for occasional signs of etheric instability, they appeared to be in passable health. Then, quite without warning, things took a turn for the worse. A change for which even Master Matoya could offer no explanation. She could only remind me that the soul is yet an unknown frontier, and that much and more lies beyond our ken. But let's not lose heart just yet. At times like these, it is all the more important that we remain positive. Why? I but this moment succeeded in quelling a fluctuation in Thancred's ether. And while the others have weakened, they have remained relatively stable. I believe I may leave my post for a moment. So come, let me hear your tale outside.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think what they said, Thancred was what, 32 or something like that, or Urianger was 32. Can't remember exactly what we had said. I don't know if they count the age of how long they've been in Norvrant also, if that's added into that. But yeah, he was like there for like 5-ish years. I think Urianger was roughly the same. Tataru says, as you probably noticed, we've put them in night clothes. I know they're not exactly asleep, but it seemed like the right thing to do. I've made them some new clothes for when they wake up, so they have to come back. And they will. Oh, thank you for putting up the FC buffs. Crassus, what news from the first? I see. Work on the spirit vessel proceeds apace, but our friends begin to falter. As they themselves have observed, the link between body and soul has weakened. It's as simple as that. For now, I'm still able to quell the fluctuations in their ether, but it's only a matter of time. We'll lose them if we don't act soon, so if the Exarch is ready to attempt something, let him attempt it. As for the spirit vessel itself, if we seek to draw upon Allagan wisdom, we could do worse than consult an expert in the field. And I think I know just the man. Time being against us, it may be best if I go and solicit his aid in person, even if it does mean leaving my patients. You've come a long way, so do take your ease while you can. Oh, we're being told to rest again after being told our friends are dying. Judging by her sheepish expression, Tataru has a favor to ask. G'av, could you spare a moment? While Kryle goes and finds this expert of hers, I mean. There's a gift I was hoping to send to our friends in the first, you see, and since we might be waiting a while, I wonder if you wouldn't mind giving me a hand with it. My first attempt turned out well, so now I'm going to make it properly. I'll be in the kitchen in the House of Splendors. Meet me there. Okay. Krause says, well, I'd better be off too. I shall see you soon, either here or at the house, depending on how our patients fare in my absence. All right, let's go speak with Tataru. she up top? No. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe she's up here? Oh, yeah. Lucky guess. Ah, she's in a chef's hat. Oh my goodness. There you are, G'av. As I'm sure you've guessed, the gift is a bit of home cooking. Unlike Kryl, I can't do much to help our friends directly, but that doesn't mean I've been idle. No, I've been doing my best for the Order, taking on this job and that to keep our coffers full. I've even helped out with the Ishgardian restoration. And in the course of all this, my culinary skills have come on quite a bit. So I thought, why not make something for our friends? It's baking in the oven even as we speak. Shouldn't be long now. There, baked to perfection, even if I do say so myself. It's bread. Or smells great. Your cake looks like bread. Let's do that one. It is bread, silly, and not just any old bread. This here is old world bread. Archon loaf, to be precise. It's what they eat over in Sharlayan. Simple fare, I admit, but I thought it would remind our friends of home. If nothing else, Kryl tells me it's a good source of ether. So it should lend them a bit of strength, at least. Kryl says, there truly is nothing like the smell of bread fresh from the oven. Tataru says, Kryl, and if it isn't Rambros, too. I trust you require no introductions either, G'av. Greetings, my friend. Full glad am I to see you well. I confess I have a long list of questions to ask you, but I'll endeavor to contain my curiosity for the present. Excuse me. I understand our mutual friend is struggling with the application of certain Allagan technologies. I've been keeping Rambros apprised of events in the First. Suffice it to say he knows about the Exarch. If anyone alive can provide insight into this matter, it is him and his fellow sons. Loath as I am to disappoint you after so glowing an endorsement, memory transference was the sole province of Allagan royalty, its mechanisms closely guarded secrets. If any records of them remains, we have yet to find it. To wit, I regret that I can offer no solution to your problem. Which begs the question of why I bothered to come here empty-handed as I am, the answer being rather brazenly to ask a favor. I would have you relay a message to our comrade. Tell him that we never doubted him. Never doubted that he would achieve all that he said he would. Those of us who remained behind have yet to play our part. But when the time comes, he may rest easy in the knowledge that we will most assuredly do so. And then the tower shall shine once more as a beacon of hope in this world and beyond. So tell him that we consider his duty done, and that he should follow his heart now. Kryl says, forgive me, but do you say this to discourage him from overexerting himself? Or to encourage him to hold nothing back? Rambros says, that is for our friend to decide, but either way, I dare say a certain someone will be unimpressed. Kryl says, well, there you have it, G'av. If you would be so good as to see Rambros' message and Tataru's bread to their intended recipients, along with my report, of course. Kryl, before I wrap the bread up, would you mind giving it a try? Just to make sure everything's as it should be? But of course, I'm always happy to lend my taste buds. Probably would help her, too. Excuse me, Rambros, as a fellow Sharlayan, may I trouble you for your opinion? Well, I usually have mine with a good dollop of Rollenberry jam, but I suppose plain is best for sampling purposes. Munch. I see. Oh no, is it that bad? Cryle says, it is indeed, Tataru, dense and unpleasant. Exactly as it should be. Just so, the very taste of home. As you might expect, our countrymen have amassed a wealth of culinary wisdom from every corner of the world, but our native cuisine is, shall we say, a little lacking. In Charlian, the majority regard food as a source of nourishment rather than enjoyment. Save for those few who actually research the culinary arts, we pay little heed to the niceties of taste and texture. It was against such a gastronomic landscape that what is now called the Archon loaf was born, the creation of an Archon who devoted himself to the study of bodily sustenance. In order to maximize its nutritional value, he incorporated copious quantities of pulverized fish and vegetable matter into the dough, all with nary a care for those qualities which make bread enjoyable. The result is a flavor that continues to defy description. I don't know. Fish and vegetable matter. It's like tuna casserole mixed in bread. I don't know if that's good or not. Yet for its many shortcomings, the loaf's nutritional value cannot be denied. And being a damnably convenient way to cater to one's bodily needs, it quickly found an audience amongst busy scholars. Why, when I was a lad, nigh every meal was a sandwich made with this very bread and whatever ingredients happened to be on hand. Cryle says, I suspect just about every Archon could say the same. Having been away from home for so long, I thought I might have forgotten the taste, but no, it is all too familiar. Oh, how it takes me back. Rambo says, if there is enough, perhaps you can spare some for the Exarch? He is certain to appreciate it. Oh, there's plenty to go around. I'll be sure to wrap up an extra slice. Tataru says, G'av, when you deliver the loaf, please be sure to send everyone my regards. Tell them we're doing everything we can, and we'll be praying for their safe return until the moment they get back. It was interesting that Rambros has his Archon mark on the top of his head. Well, it sounds like it'll do them good anyway. And when everything's back to normal, I'll cook something for you too, G'av. Gods know you deserve a treat. But not Archon loaf, thank you very much. Alright, deliver the Archon loaf to the Crystal Exarch in the Ocular. Mysterian Gatekeep, do you have business with the Crystal Exarch? Just say the word, and I would be happy to escort you to the Ocular. Becklug. Ah, you have returned. Good, good. There is much to discuss. The others are making their way hither as we speak. Welcome back, my friend. How was your journey? Created by an Archon who devoted himself to the study of sustenance, this bread, infused with pulverized fish and vegetables, is extremely nutritious, assuming one can get past the taste. By the 12, Archon loaf. However did you come by this? I'd swear it had come straight from Charlian. Rambos said that, did he? His words are very nearly as heavy as the bread, but I appreciate the sentiment. Should you have the chance, you may tell him that he needn't worry. That which I seek to do, I do of my own volition and with all my heart. In pursuing this path, I fully expect to earn the censure of our friends, and to deserve it, but I shall forge on regardless. Forge on as you yourself did when faced with a similar predicament. So I ask that you have faith in me, in what we do. But we are talking about your journey. Before the others arrive, I would hear how their bodies fare. Oh, and the bread I shall save for later. Though it has been many years, I have not forgotten the feats of mastication required to consume it, nor how unconducive they are to conversation. Maybe that was one way to get the Archons to shut up and stop talking.
Forgive the delay. We have visited every region and confirmed the presence of Ascians throughout the realm.
Lest a grave predicament be made to seem hopeless, it should be noted that they are of inferior rank. The black-masked minions who answer to the red.
She says, you know, in case you fear a grave problem to be hopeless, we should note that they are, the black masked ones are inferior. They answer to the red. To Elidibus.
A gaggle of schemers attempting to exploit recent events to sow the seeds of petty conflict. Fortunately, nothing of any great concern has come of their meddling just yet.
We also encountered a number of the Crystarium's former defenders, busily solving this problem and that in a bid to become warriors of light.
Their zeal is to be applauded. 'Tis but a pity I cannot encourage them on their course.
Not knowing Elidibus set them upon it, no. Both the troubles to be solved and the villains to be vanquished are his doing too, like as not. And so, with apologies to the aspiring warriors of light, I believe it best that we deal with the Ascians quickly and quietly.
I quite agree.
But tell us, what news from the source? How fare our bodies?
We could say, well enough, though time is not on our side, or I'm sorry, but things have taken a turn for the worse. I think he'd be honest there. Not sugarcoat it.
Oh dear. Then we must redouble our efforts. Not that we've ever stinted in that regard.
This would seem an appropriate moment to ask about the spirit vessel. Tell me you've made some progress.
We have, as it happens. One moment.
The red stones. Then this doth mean...
The red stones. Then that means...
For the benefit of all, permit us to explain. As you will recall, using white auracite as our starting point, we fashioned a vessel for mind and memory both. Yet, though it served this purpose admirably, the process of imbuing it with one's complete essence proved a somewhat thornier proposition. Simply put, the memory would not accompany the mind. And so, we looked to the Allegan's mastery of memory transference for a solution.
This approach was not without its own complications, however, relying as it does upon blood, which inanimate objects, notably, do not possess. We duly explored methods of suffusing the vessel with drops of the aforementioned. Alas, our painstaking experimentation succeeded only in making me feel faint, and singularly failed to imbue the crystal with the necessary properties. It was then that an idea occurred to me, namely that we might fuse the vessel not with normal blood, but with my crystallized essence.
You're doing this for our sakes. So far be it from us to complain. But don't think we haven't noticed what's happening to your arm.
It falls well short of offering up my life in exchange for yours, which was your only stipulated prohibition, as I recall. And it is but a small price to pay for delivering you home.
Assuming it works, we shall soon know if this grisly addition will serve as a suitable conduit for the subject's memory. Though not soon enough to warrant your waiting. The test is like to take a while.
Let us be off then. We have Ascians to attend to, among other things.
Forgive me, but I count 6 vessels, and there are only 5 of us.
1 is for testing purposes. I will personally use it to see whether the crystal functions as it should.
And if it does, wouldn't that mean that your soul could also return to the source?
Yes. In theory, at least. But there is a distinct difference between your circumstances and mine. While your corporeal forms want for souls, my past self does not. Mayhap our essences would blend, or mayhap they would curdle. There is no telling what might occur.
And you'd be willing to take that risk?
I would.
I see.
Alize doesn't deal well with emotions. Alright, what does she have to say here? I'm sorry, I know it was childish to storm off like that, and probably to feel the way I do as well. Ugh, pull yourself together, Alize. Alphino says, when our grandfather first decided to journey to Eorzea, Alize did not take kindly to my silence on the subject. Don't pretend to understand things you don't, she said, or rather, shouted. Having oft been the subject of her scorn, I am predisposed to sympathize with the Exarch, but I do understand how she feels. Better now than ever I did, certainly. Green says, it's stupid, but I've never really stopped to think about what would happen once the vessels were complete. And now... No, there's no point. I hope the test is a success. Truly. I, for one, support the Exarch's choice. To be alive is to be driven by a purpose, and few are as driven as him. Urianger says, hast thou a moment, G'av? I would speak with thee on the matter of the Exarch's mooted return unto the source. So, do you have a moment, G'av? I want to talk to you about the matter of the Exarch's return to the source. You know, the inevitable return to the source. Oh, hi, Jakey. Thou wilt have observed that our friend spake not in certainties. Yet if Beck-Lug hath the right of it, 'tis possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. You'll notice that our friend did not speak in certainties. He wasn't sure of anything, but if Beck-Lug is right, it's possible to predict the outcome of his plan with some confidence. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul should successfully merge with that of his younger self. And it is their assessment that, given the opportunity, the Exarch's soul would successfully merge with his younger self. Which is not to say the process is without complications. For one, the Exarch has been subjected to an additional rejoining. An experience which will have wrought a change in his ethereal composition, which is not to say that it's not without complication, of course. For one, the Exarch was subjected to an additional rejoining, an experience that, has created a change in his ether composition, as thou thyself didst demonstrate in merging with Ardbert. However, there existeth an affinity twixt like souls, and this doth give us cause to hope. Alright, as you yourself demonstrated merging with Ardbert, however, there exists an affinity between like souls, and this gives us cause to hope. Yet there remaineth one immutable condition upon which success doth hinge, but there's still one unchangeable condition upon which hinges success. The Exarch must needs recognize his past self as simply that, himself. So the Exarch has to recognize his past self as himself. As our recent travails have demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the former may feasibly cause the latter to spurn its former flesh. So as our recent work has demonstrated, memories are essential to the soul. Any discrepancy in the memories may could conceivably cause the soul to spurn its former flesh. It is a seemingly simple yet complex problem. For nigh on a century, our friend hath striven only to deliver this realm, to deliver thee. And to that singular end did he cast aside his very name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. So it's a seemingly simple but complex problem. For nearly a century, our friend has worked not only to deliver this realm, but to deliver you as well. And to that one single end, he has even cast aside his own name, that he might assume the mantle of the Crystal Exarch. Henceforth none can say what choices our friend will make, but I thought it only right that thou be made aware of these truths. So, from now on, no one can say what choices G'av will make, but I thought it's only right that you be made aware of these facts. Lest there be any doubt, the Exarch hath long been aware of the possibilities he but recently unfolded to us. Wherefore he did refrain from sharing them until now, I cannot say. Okay, lest there's any doubt, the Exarch has long known about the possibilities that he recently told us about, but why he kept from sharing them until now, I can't say. Salfino have anything else? Nope. All right. Thancred is eager to get to work. However, it is 5:47, and as much as I hate to leave it here like this, because this is such a great story, let's get to our cat jokes. I gotta go make dinner for the family. All right. Here's one. It's a bad one. Why did the cat go to a therapist? He had claustrophobia. Claustrophobia. Okay. That's bad. That's bad. They're all bad. All right, cats and kittens, if you can... yes, definitely roulettes after dinner. Definitely. All right. Definitely. It's a new week. We got to get those armor pieces, right? From the normal raids. And the normal raids are just so much fun. If you haven't done them yet, definitely do them. Especially the very last one. You just get that fantastic song, Everything Burns. Listen to that one on YouTube if you can't go do it while fighting. It's a fantastic song. Anyway, so yes, we will do roulettes after dinner. And, if you can help us out, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that stuff. You know what to do and when to do it. I'm working on, I just about finished a video for the Easy Cooking for Gamers channel. So we're doing one on grilled cheese. So if you are scared of cooking, and you've never cooked before, I made it super easy. I go through the whole process. It'll be like a solo duty for cooking. All right. So I'm looking forward to that. I got to take a few pictures of grilled cheese tonight, and then I think I'll have everything done and can maybe upload it in the next day or 2 or 3. All right, cats and kittens. We will see you next week with more G'av Tia's story. This is like the really exciting part of these patch quests, man. It's just taking us on a roller coaster ride of emotions. All right, Saturday we will continue doing Recollections Extreme with Selenia. That's a tough fight, man. Tough fight. We're working through learning it, and we're getting there. We didn't get any clears last time, but we did make progress, and we learned to fight better, and that's always a good thing. All right, cats and kittens, you have a great one. Mama Cat Gamer is signing out. Have a good one.